Hi, everyone. This afternoon, I'm so privileged to have my friend here. We went through so much together. I don't want to go back there. I don't want her to tell us her story from when she was born, blah, blah. I just want her to introduce herself and tell us whether she's married or she's looking or she's a mom or she's not. She's going to tell us all that. She's going to tell us where she lives because she's not in this cold country. She's somewhere warm. She's going to tell us that. And then we'll see where we go with this because she's doing amazing work. So this video, I'm going to let you watch it. I'm not going to talk a lot, but I'm going to put it on my YouTube channel so you can go like, subscribe, follow me, and listen to the stories there, listen and watch everything that goes on there. It's amazing. So today, it's a different one because it's going to be in English. I will try and put some subtitles in Swahili if anybody wants to watch in Swahili. But today is strictly going to be English because she does amazing work. So Mercy, welcome, karibu.
Thank you, Asante Sana Eunice. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm so delighted because it's been long since we talked, and this is a beautiful day for me.
Yeah.
I would like to introduce myself. My name is Mercy Olive. That's what I call myself. And I'm in Nairobi, Kenya. That is in Donholm. That's where I live. Today is a hot day, very hot here in Nairobi. We are experiencing hot temperatures.
What temperature is it now?
It's actually going up to 30 degrees. Yeah, so it's quite hot, especially at night.
I can tell you for sure it is hot because here in Wetherby, West Yorkshire, it's 5 degrees.
Oh, what a difference.
I know.
What a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good, Mercy, you're telling us you're in Nairobi, you're doing what else about you? Tell us a bit more about you and then we can move on.
I'm married and married to a very handsome man, and we're blessed with one daughter, 12 years old, turning 12 this April.
Wow.
And I'm also above 40, so you can imagine I'm just turned 40 something. You know, women, we say 40 something.
Yeah. We're on the fourth floor.
I'm on fourth floor and really enjoying my fourth floor because that's why I found myself.
Good.
I've really found who Mercy is. And when I found who Mercy is, I was able to know myself, know my environment, know my emotions, know everything about Mercy. And that's what led me to really go deeper. And what I'm doing currently, I'm a psychologist by profession. I have interest in children, youth, and women. And I look at what is happening to the young person. I have programs which I encourage and empower because this generation needs empowerment. Remember, it's a global village. We are living in a global village. Information is there. Our children have a lot of information. And so as parents, what can we do to empower these children? And so that is my interest. And I have really big interest with the youth. Put me with youths and we're going to explore. You know, I always dub it, experience the youth, engage with the youth and empower the youth. Because if we don't empower this generation, who else will empower this generation? Remember, we are living in times of technology. If I can give you an example, Eunice, I got my first phone maybe in my 20s, and it was not an Android phone, you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was not privileged with an Android phone. So compare that, I'm a parent, to a child who's already been born with these gadgets, you know? And so we are parents who are parenting a very vibrant, very sharp, very tech savvy kids.
I know.
So how do we break out? How do we come to a balance, you know. So we got to empower the parents,
yeah,
and also empower the child so that we come at a balance, so that our children are not gonna be rebellious. We are going to what can I say? We are going to learn so many from our kids, and our kids will learn a lot from us.
Yeah.
Through technology, and that's what I do. Parenting. I have a parenting show in the morning in some TV stations. I have programs that I run. The current one is called The Process of Becoming. You know, a child. They are growing up. Here is a child, 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15. You know, it's a process.
True.
And with this process, we have to engage them because the times are changing.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so that's what I do.
Amazing. I mean, I can't even begin. I can't even start to ask where. Because as a psychologist, you must have done quite a lot. I tried when I was doing my BA in learning and teaching.
Yeah.
I did a little touch on child psychology. And that in itself was big. It was massive. I looked at the modules. I'm kid you not. I looked at the modules. Well, I wasn't going to do child psychology, but I looked at the modules and I thought to myself, no way. I can't even try to just get a grab of it because it's huge. It's massive because it starts with the brain. You open up that head and look at the brain and its functionalities and everything. It was just mind-blowing for me. And I thought, well, let me just stick with what I know. I'm a teacher. I'm just going to stick with that. I'll let the psychologists deal with it. So
they go hand in hand, remember?
It's quite juicy. I really, really love the fact that you do these things to do with the children. And because you have your own child, obviously, you know the process of growth and all the emotions they go through and everything. So if you can give us just a touch bit of what a child is, just tell us what's a child. That's it. That's all.
Yeah. Here in Kenya, especially, a child is anyone who is below 21 years. That's a child here in Kenya. And a child, once a child is born, actually, as we look at since conception, you know, can you imagine conception?
True.
A pregnant woman today needs to know that there's a life inside their womb already. And there are things that are happening to her when she's pregnant. If the mother is angry, the child becomes, uncomfortable. If the mother is happy, the child is happy.
True.
So we look at the environment. How is the environment? Even let's talk about from conception. That's where life starts.
Yeah.
So this child needs a very good environment. The mother needs to relax. The mother needs nutrition. The mother needs to be comfortable. Why? Why is it? Because once the child is born, you will know if the mother was stressed or not. And the child is out of the womb. And when the child is born, there are so many things that happens to the child. For example, stimulation. How do we stimulate our children from zero? Let's say it's day one. The environment. That is what matters in a child's brain. How the child is received into this world is what is going to determine how they are going to live in terms of emotions, cognitive skills, stimulations. What is the environment? We're talking about the 5 senses, Eunice, for example. What can they see? What can they hear? Do we touch our kids? Yeah. You know, we stimulate our kids so that, let's say, for example, you stimulate the foot, yeah, you know, the foot. You touch the child to see how they are going to respond to you with their eyes. You know, it's very psychological. That tells you the child has a touch feeling, which is one of the senses. Yeah. So we start there. That is what a child begins the life from conception. to now where we are today. And as psychologists, we always encourage mothers, fathers, parents, guardians to see how the environment is, because the environment is the key to a child. Emotionally, physically, psychologically, everything. Yeah, it is very important. Actually, the program that we run goes hand in hand, Eunice, because these children come from homes. So we equip the parents on how to stay with their children.
True.
For example, if a mother gets in or a father gets into the door and what the mother says is, don't do this, don't do this, don't do that. I mean, the child will ask themselves, so mom, dad, what else do you want me to do?
Yeah.
So we don't give our kids independence to do what they want. So that is also one of the things that we equip the parents to know how to parent these kids, even emotionally. For example, how do our kids respond to failure? For example, how do our kids respond to sadness? You know, when a child feels sad, what should they do? That's what we do. We equip them because they are individuals. Yeah.
True.
Instead of throwing tantrums, there's a way we train them to know their emotions.
True.
And as the parent, know that their kids are going through emotional distress. What are the signs? For example, bedwetting. Yeah, I hope I've gone very fast, so you're just going on.
No, it's okay. You carry on. I think the best thing for me to do is just to let you talk, because I wanted just to get the feel of what you do. Yeah.
So we look at the signs. What are the signs of a child who is in distress? For example, bedwetting is one of them. If a child bedwets and they never bedwet earlier on, that's a clear indication of this child is going through a psychological problem. Another thing that is very new to this parenting age that you're living in is technology.
Yeah.
How do we control the gadgets? And research states that majority of our children are on gadgets more than people who are working. Can you imagine?
That's very true.
They're on gadgets which are not paying them. Okay, for some, they're going to be paid because of their TikTok and YouTube and stuff. But majority of our kids end up staying many hours on their gadgets. Another thing that has proved to be very, very serious is the posture. Eunice, the posture of our kids, the back of our kids the scientists are saying that it has changed. It's not growing well because of the posture. So the parents need to see where the tablets are placed when the kids are playing games, video games. The kids are on WhatsApp and video chats and everything. What is the posture of your child? Because the neck and the back and the spine there's a disconnect because of the posture for long hours. The eyes, the eyes can't see nowadays. So many eye problems to our kids, resilience. You have seen a lot of, like here in Kenya, there's a lot of suicide. Suicide is caused by so many things that the kids are not able to take in failure. They're not ready to take in shame, guilt. And so we are training our children to face it. Today, Eunice, I come and tell you, oh, today I really failed in my mathematics class. Or I got a C in mathematics, and my friends got a B and an A. So am I feeling ashamed because of having a C? Or am I feeling ashamed because of my body or something like that? So we are training our children to accept themselves, working towards. So if things, it's good to notice that if things start wrong, it's okay. They can be made right, you
Yeah.
know, because we do say that you can unlearn some behaviors later on. But the moment you discover there is a problem in your child, that's when you start the program of taking the child to a psychologist, for example, and yourself, even the parents needs to be alert. And I would like to talk to parents of the 21st century, because this is worldwide.
Yeah.
Too busy. We are too busy.
I know.
In
Very
my
true.
office, I get parents who come and tell me, oh, my son is on drugs, my son is on depression, my son has a lot of anxiety disorder, I can see that my child is not sleeping. And I'm wondering, why can a child not sleep? The child is not looking for money like the parents. They are not busy. They don't have back-to-back workloads. Why are the children feeling depressed? And most of the time, it is their environment. The parent has no time for the child. Remember, take an example of a glass. A glass is clear.
Yeah.
Clear. That's how we come into this world. Clear. So whatever you feel in is what will determine what color and what is in the glass.
True.
So as a parent, it is good to put in good things. And one of it is time. Can you imagine? You can't buy time in a supermarket. You can't buy time anywhere in the world. But what you can do, you can give time, you know, as a parent. And I always pose a question to parents and ask them, if it is not you, who is that?
Who else?
Who
True.
else? If it is not you, who else? So intentionality is very important. Be with the kids. You know, the best thing with children, they respond to the environment. If a mother or a father or a parent says, all the gadgets aside, it's time for family time. Let's sing like the way Eunice sings. And, you know, I also love singing. Let's do hymns.
Yeah.
You know, then you learn the talent of your child.
And games. And I think people also need to invest on games as well, because not just the video games, just like board games. And, you know, like my son, he beats me so many times on a certain game. And I've tried so many times to try and beat him, but I think I'm rubbish. So parents actually need to invest on games. They don't have to be complicated games, just simple games. But
definitely.
Because even through playing, that's when they'll start telling you things. And
definitely
you'll be shocked to hear what they know. You'll be shocked to hear what's happening in their life. And I think in a way you start bonding in games as well. I think so.
That is it. You see, the games are an avenue. Yeah, they are an avenue to many good moments. And remember, it's a story. What story will your kids remember you for when they were young? Because that is the only time you can be able to, they can have a story about a parent.
True.
You know, like me, I would say, oh, my mother used to take me to church. You know, we used to play games with my mother when I was 8. I can still remember, you know. So kids also remember the time that they spent with their parents, and crucial time. I know we are busy. I've always talked about this, Eunice. We are very busy generation.
Very busy.
And still we are having with kids, we are parents. How do we balance? The thing is, how do we balance? There's hope. Let us be intentional. If a mother or a father comes home at 7, they should not find the kids sleeping. Or if they find the kids sleeping, it's good to go and look at them when they're sleeping and see whether their legs are fine. How are they? Are they having any scar that day? Did they swim too much? Like my daughter has just come out from swimming right now. She has red eyes. You know, it's good to watch them so that you notice, because as parents, you're too busy. We cannot even be able to see what is happening to our children's lives, which is affecting them, and they're going into depression. Majority of the kids come and tell me, you know, the relationship, even with their parents, parental relationship very important, Eunice. Very bonding, you know. How close are we with our kids, you know?
Mm.
Do your kids know you? No, a long time ago, when you saw your mother looking you at an eye that is not very good, you know
Yeah.
that,
Just
my
go.
mom is annoyed or my dad is annoyed. So other than that gesture of looking, what else? Do they know what to love? You know, you love grilled chicken or you love steak, you know? Let them know what you love as a mother, as a father, you know? That we call it how are our families? Yeah. Are they functioning well? That is where it starts. Because Eunice, I can tell you, if a family is well functioning, the kids will definitely blossom. And guess what? They will go and tell their teacher in school, oh, yesterday we had dinner. Yeah, we had this and this and this. You know, they're happy. Yesterday we played board games with my father and I beat him. You know, the way you're telling me, those are the interesting things for the kids.
For the next few minutes, Mercy is going to take us through the last bit of this child, because it's a very, very big topic. We can talk all day about child psychology. We can talk about the growth and everything. She's just giving us an outline, because this is just an outline. If she digs deep, oh my goodness, it's going to be big. So she's going to give us just a touch bit more about the child. And then next time when we meet, we're going to be transitioning from a child to youth. And she's going to take us again, give us the outline, because we can't dig into teenagehood and being a youth and all that, because there's a lot as well. So, Mercy, I'm just to give you this a few more minutes for you to talk more about the child. You said something to do with investing in time for them, like having these games and trying talk times. You can also go for a cycle, like a bike ride or swimming or something together. That is investing time for them, because it's busy. We're very, very busy. I was saying to Mercy that in Kenya you can employ a domestic worker, but when you're living abroad, no chance. No chance. So you are taking all the duties of a parent and a playmate and all that. So Mercy is going to take us through the next few minutes and tell us more about the child. So over to you.
Thank you, Eunice. I'm glad. I cannot stop talking about children.
Yeah.
Because children are the future generation. And I cannot stop talking about the environment, the caregiver.
Yeah.
The caregiver also is very important to the child. And so we were speaking about, I can talk from 0 to like 15 years, teenage years, but because I do not want to give everything at once, as Eunice says, we are going to go bit by bit. And where we are right now, we are talking about these children who are maybe in preschool, children who are trying to talk, you know, speech. And I would like to mention something to do with developmental, you know, the developmental stages of a child. If a child misses some developmental stages, it's good for the caregiver to notice and seek help, you know, like speech. You know, research has proven that speech affects the brain and most importantly, the child who is on gadgets. That is the sad story, Eunice, because the child is good at imitating. You know how children imitate everything. Have you ever, you know, when my child was 5 years, I used to imitate me with the phone. She could move around the house with the phone like this. And then, you know, the way you put your phone on the ear and then you look at the watch. And then because I do business, he would start commanding the employees or instructing the employees, you know, you're supposed to do this at this time. Has so-and-so reached? Did you guys wipe the products? Such stuff.
Mm.
Imitate who we are. So if you want to know who you are, look. Yeah, there's a mirror just next to you
Yes,
as a parent.
exactly. Yeah.
Your children, yeah, your children look, and they are good imitators, because we talked about the environment earlier, Eunice, and we said, what is the environment for these kids? The children come as an open slate. That is what we say in psychology: open slate, clean slate, a glass ready to be filled. Can you imagine? So what, a glass ready to be filled. So it is the responsibility of caregivers, parents, dads, moms, aunties, to fill in good stuff so that these kids can become good people, future generation. And one of the things that Eunice has requested that as we talk about is how to notice that maybe even your child is going through some trauma, for example. Children go through bullying, children go through, they become anxious, anxiety. And it is because of parenting styles. I always talk about parenting styles many times. All these things revolves the caregiver. Unbelievably, that is the teacher, the mother, the father, and the pastor. It's an all-rounded environment.
True.
And so children experience anxiety, they experience phobias, they experience mood swings, they throw tantrums. And when a parent or a caregiver finds a child throwing tantrums, the child is just trying to tell you, you're not hearing what I'm saying.
True.
Have you seen mothers in supermarkets and their kids are throwing tantrums all over, throwing toys all over? They want this, they want that. It's because there is no order. I always speak about a family is like a company. You have to run it like a company. There are rules. When we go to the supermarket, this is what we are going to buy, and this is what we need. And make sure even the children are involved in the shopping.
Yeah.
So that when they go to the supermarket, they don't see something and it was not in the list. And so what happens? Because the caregiver did not communicate to the child picks something from the shelf, and then the mother said no, or the father says no. And when the child hears no for many times, they become anxious. Yeah, there's no dialogue.
Yeah.
And what happens to a child? A child throws tantrums. That is, they're trying to tell you, hey, you had not communicated to me, and then you're denying me what I want. Yeah, that is the thing. Another thing is affirmation. Parents, caregivers, we need to affirm our children. Our children thrive in affirmation. If a child does well, talk to them. And there's something I would like to share about eye contact. Remember, we are tall parents, caregivers, we are so big. These kids are small, they are short, they are tiny.
Yeah.
So for you not to be seen like supernatural, like so big and huge and humongous, it's good to kneel down to their level. Parents and caregivers need to have that straight, symmetrical eye contact, so that you lock your eyes with the child. Once a parent locks their eyes with the child and communicates at their level in terms of height, just calm down, talk, come to their level, speak. No shouting, just speak. Because once a child experiences a toxic parent, there are parents who are toxic. That one, we'll talk about it later. They kind of become rebellious, because once the parents are toxic, remember, if you live with a toxic parent from a birth to I don't know when, then you will experience a lot of emotional issues later in life. And so parents also need to work towards their emotions and change it with affirmations to their children. If a child does well in school, please reward.
Yeah.
If they do wrong, punish also by withdrawing some privileges.
Mm-hmm.
That is the right punishment.
Mm-hmm.
If the child, you've promised the child pizza or something, and they do wrong, you just have a conversation and you tell them, now, look here, my daughter, my son, remember we have said twice in a month you are going to cook pizza, for example. But today we are not going to cook pizza. Why? It's because you did this and this. So
Mm-hmm.
no, this and this. And so the child will see, okay, so if I don't do this,
Yeah.
this thing will be withdrawn from me. So what do? I'm going to work hard. I'm going to do better. I'm going to become a good child. I'm going to listen to my parents, what they're saying. I'm going to be obedient, and I'm going to be very, very happy. Eunice, I can tell you, you will know a child who is happy.
Mm.
A child is bubbly, engaging.
Mm.
You know, a child is talking about themselves, talking about their parents, talking about their pets, talking about their teacher.
Mm-hmm.
But a child who is gloomy, a child who is always at the corner, alone, not able to talk, they are experiencing a lot of trauma. We call it trauma. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Wow. Mercy, you're so rich in this knowledge, and we cannot even, I don't think we can dig into it. All we can do is just get just light knowledge from it, because it's a lot. And I think what you're trying to say here is a child has that kind of they live in their world where they want to know that they're safe. I'm safe in this world. I've got parents, I've got teachers, I've got uncles and aunties and everyone. In my little bubble, I'm safe. As I think I was saying to one of the parents' friends, I was saying to them, she was asking me, how is your daughter? How is she doing? I say to her, oh, I really don't know, because we rarely talk. And she said, oh, is she not in your home? I said, no, 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 she became a bird. She flew away. Because when they're in your house, they're in your nest. You're feeding them. And again, it depends on what you're feeding them. You feed them.
Yeah.
So you feed them the right stuff. And then they grow. And when they grow, they will leave your nest. They're not babies anymore. They fly away.
Yes.
And they will fly away with what you fed them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So like you're saying, if you're toxic, you feed them with rubbish, that's what they'll take out there. They will go and show what they were taught. So people will turn around and say, oh, I don't think your parents taught you the right thing. But if you feed them in that little nest, if you feed them with the right thing, the right stuff, when they fly out there, people will say, oh, who are your parents? I want to know your parents,
Exactly.
I think you're trying to tell us that in this little world they're growing in, we need to feed them with the right stuff. We need to make sure that we're nurturing them, so that when they go out there, when they fly away and they go wherever they will go, in that world where they're going to venture, people will reflect back and say, oh yeah, I think this child was brought up well. And I think, people can look at us and see what how we were brought up. It was harsh at some point.
Yes.
You remember how harsh it was at some point. You really had to be whacked properly for you to be straightened,
Yeah.
You remember if you failed maths, for example, you really had a bit of caning, you were even afraid of going home because you don't know.
Yeah.
I think our parents were trying to tell us this is the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go this way, you will not turn around. You will not go east, west. You just keep going straight. So I think it's a lot to talk. There's a lot to talk.
It's a lot.
And I'm sure you have a lot to tell us. So I think for today, having touched about the child and having talked about all these things that affect the child and their growth, I think we can probably next time when we meet again, you can take us through the transition of a child, now the steps towards teenagehood and into the youth. Before I brought up a teenager, Mercy, I didn't know what she was going to be. I didn't know.
Yes.
But then I had to do a lot of research. I had to do a lot of reading. I had to know what it is about the teenagehood, because you don't understand. I was so lost.
Yes.
But I think parents also need to do a bit of research to find out what's going on. So
Exactly. And you see, there's no parenting manual, Eunice. There is no parenting manual.
I know.
Yeah.
So yeah, amazing. Mercy, I don't know what to tell you, because it's been amazing to have you here. And I'm hoping that people will follow up on this. People will go and do some practice on some of the things we've said here. They will come back to you. You give us the social handles as well, so we can follow you. We can listen to the motivational speaking that you do. So what we're going to do, we're going to put this on YouTube. We're also going to leave your social handles there so people can click and go to you. So I'll stop this recording for now, and then we come back here for the next time. So thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you're going to like, subscribe, and follow us. You do the same for Mercy, and we'll see you soon.